The tea's getting cold on the counter next to the mail I haven't opened in a week. I still walk softly past the bedroom door, afraid I'll wake a ghost that doesn't speak. There's a silence here that has a heartbeat, a heavy hum that follows me upstairs. I'm still living in the house we built, but I'm the only one who's actually there. And I'm still leaving the porch light on, knowing you're not coming down the street, keeping a glow in the window pane for a person I'm never gonna meet. It's a cruel kind of habit, a beautiful lie, to keep the dark from winning for one more night. I'm just a fool in an empty house, leaving the light for a ghost to find. I saw your coat at the back of the closet. It still smells like the rain from last July. I almost reached out to touch the sleeve, then remembered I don't have the right to try. The shadows are getting longer in the hallway, they're stretching out to claim the space you kept. I'm memorizing the way the floorboards creak in all the places where you haven't stepped. And I'm still leaving the porch light on, knowing you're not coming down the street, keeping a glow in the window pane for a person I'm never gonna meet. It's a cruel kind of habit, a beautiful lie, to keep the dark from winning for one more night. I'm just a fool in an empty house, leaving the light for a ghost to find. They say the electricity will eventually fail, or the bulb will burn out and turn to gray. But as long as there's a flicker in this room, you're never truly fully gone away. I'm scared of what the morning looks like when I finally have the strength to flip the switch. Maybe tomorrow I'll let it go dark. Maybe tomorrow I'll find a new spark. But tonight, yeah, tonight, I'm still leaving the light. Just in case. I wrote your name in the condensation on the window of the kitchen glass. I watched the letters start to shiver as the winter air began to pass. I remember how it felt to say it, like a secret kept beneath the tongue. But now it's just a frozen habit, a song that's better left unsung. The garden's buried under white, the statues in the park are still. I'm trying to keep the memory warm, but I've lost the strength and lost the will. And I'm keeping your name on ice, preserved in a cold and quiet place. I can let it melt into the ground, or watch the thaw erase your face. It's a heart kept in a winter's sleep, a hollow promise I still keep. I'm not moving on, I'm just staying still, keeping your name on ice against my will. Pen has started freezing, the letters jagged and the lines are thin. I'm tracing the curves of every vowel, wondering where the ending should begin. People tell me that the spring is coming, that the rivers always learn to flow, but I'm terrified of what I'll find underneath this heavy crust of snow. Keeping your name on ice, preserved in a cold and quiet place. I can let it melt into the ground, or watch the thaw erase your face. It's a heart kept in a winter's sleep, a hollow promise I still keep. I'm not moving on, I'm just staying still, keeping your name on ice against my will. Temperature rise, does that mean the story finally dies? If I feel the sun upon my skin, do I have to let the world back in? I'd rather stay in the shivering dark than lose the very last remaining spark. I'm running my fingers over the indentation where you used to rest your head. The cotton is smooth now, the warmth is gone, just a ghost in a king-sized bed. I find myself walking the perimeter of the space you used to fill, like a detective at a crime scene where time is standing still. I'm a cartographer of nothing, mapping out the not theirs, finding the dust on the books you loved and the silence in the chairs. I'm tracing your absence like a scar, following the lines of where you are not. A silhouette is static, a hollow in the air. I reach for the shadow, but there's no dent in the sofa is finally fading. The cushion is learning to forget. But I'm down on my knees with a pencil and paper. I haven't let go of you yet. I'm sketching the way you leaned in the doorway, the angle of your hip against the wall. If I draw the outline perfectly enough, maybe you didn't leave it all. I'm tracing your absence like a scar, following the lines of where you are not. A silhouette of static, a hollow in the air. I reach for the shadow, but there's nobody there. It's the shape of the void, it's the weight of the air. I'm just tracing your absence everywhere. My hands are shaking as I follow the curve of a life that's no longer mine. Every empty hook, every missing key is a jagged, broken light. I'm color-coding the loneliness, shading in the regret. The page is still white, the room is still wide, and I'm just a ghost on the outside, tracing the lines, tracing the lines of you. Just an outline, just an outline, just an outline, just an outline. Just an outline, just an outline. I'm running my fingers over the indentation. I'm running my fingers. 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 I'm running my fingers over the indentation. I'm running my fingers. 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 I'm running my I'm running my fingers. I'm running my fingers. I'm running my fingers. I'm running my fingers over the indentation. I'm sitting on the edge of the mattress while you're staring at the crack in the door. It's only 3 feet of fabric and cooling sheets, but it feels like 1,000 miles or more. I could reach out and touch your shoulder. I could whisper I'm sorry to your skin, but there's a wall made of everything we didn't say, and I don't know how to let the daylight in. The air is getting thin in the center. The oxygen is running out fast. We're 2 satellites drifting in a quiet orbit, waiting for the signal to finally pass. There's a canyon in the middle of the hallway, an ocean in the middle of the bed. I'm screaming through a glass partition, repeating all the things I should have said. We're close enough to hear each other breathing, but far enough to feel the frost begin to crust. It's a wide, cold world in the space between us. Yeah, the space between us is turning into dust. Coffee mugs to the other side, a tiny border shift I wasn't meant to see. Every inch of the table is a battleground between who you were and who you're gonna be. I remember when the gap was non-existent, when our heartbeats were a single steady drum. Now I'm calculating the distance in the silence, and I'm terrified of what we both become. Is it a bridge we're building, or a trench? Are we reaching out or pulling back the hand? I'm standing on the shoreline of I love you, watching you drift away from the sand. The silence is a physical thing now. It's a weight, it's a hum, it's a sting. There's a canyon in the middle of the hallway, an ocean in the middle of the bed. I'm screaming through a glass partition, repeating all the things I should have said. We're close enough to hear each other breathing, but far enough to feel the frost begin to crust. It's a wide, cold world in the space between us. Yeah, the space between us is turning into dust. 3 feet, 2 hearts, 1 world falling apart. Mind the gap, don't fall in. Don't fall in. The space between us, it's a long way down. The seasons are changing, they're closing the yard. The green turns to gold and to gray. I've memorized every car that turns down this road and the way that they all drive away. The mailbox is rusting, the hinges are stuck full of flyers and bills in your name. I haven't had the heart to tell the postman yet that the scenery's no longer the same. My friends say I'm a statue in a garden of ghosts, rooted to a spot that doesn't exist. But I'm still checking the weather in the city where you are, and the parts of the map that I've missed. And I'm still waiting here like a lighthouse in a desert, looking for a ship that's never gonna sail. I'm a promise that was made in the middle of a fever, a heart that's starting to fail. The world is moving on, spinning faster every second, but I'm the anchor at the bottom of the pier, while everybody's going, while everybody's growing. I'm still waiting here. I still buy the brand of the coffee you like, though it tastes like a chore in my cup. I leave the spare key under the loose porch stone, just in case you finally show up. There's a comfort in the stagnation, I guess, a safety in the not letting go. 'Cause if I move an inch from this wooden front step, I'll have to admit what I know. And I'm still waiting here, like a lighthouse in a desert, looking for a ship that's never gonna sail. I'm a promise that was made in the middle of a fever, a heartbeat that's starting to fail. The world is moving on, spinning faster every second, but I'm the anchor at the bottom of the pier, while everybody's going, while everybody's growing. I'm still waiting here. Is it loyalty, or is it just a cage? Am I a hero, or a footnote on a page? I've worn a hole in the carpet where I stand, holding a handful of nothing in my hand, waiting for a tide that's never coming back. The sun's going down, the street lights are humming. I'll stay for a while, just in case you're coming. Still waiting here, in the quiet, in the cold, in the cold. Still waiting. I haven't opened up the curtains in a month. The sunlight's just a stranger at the glass. There's a silver film on the surface of the stove, watching all the lonely hours pass. I see your footprint in the corner of the rug, a fossil from a life we used to lead. I'm breathing in the particles of everything we were, and it's the only medicine I need. Don't sweep the floor, don't wipe the shelf. I'm finally starting to settle myself into the gray, into the still, into the hollow of the windowsill. Welcome to my house of dust, where the memories turn to powder and the engines turn to rust. Everything you touched is gathering a layer of the past, a soft and silent blanket that was always meant to last. I'm sitting in the wreckage, I'm sitting in the gray, watching all the colors slowly crumble away in this house of dust. I'm just a shadow too. Favorite book is sitting on the side with a velvet coat of white along the spine. I haven't moved the glass you left upon the wood. I'm chasing out the rings dreams of bitter wine. The air is thick with things we never got to say, floating like the static in the light. I'm building up a monument of everything that's gone, to keep me company throughout the night. If I clean it up, then you're really gone. If I scrub the walls, I can't linger on. I'd rather choke on the air of what we used to be than breathe in a room that's empty of a weed. Let the cobwebs grow, let the garden die. I'm staying under this charcoal sky. I don't wanna see the wood anymore, just the dust. In my house of dust. The sun is hitting the kitchen floor at 4, but it doesn't feel like warmth anymore. I see a shape stretching out from the wall, long and lean, standing guard in the hall. I almost turn to ask if you're hungry. I almost reach out to catch your sleeve, but the light is playing a trick on my heart, giving me one more reason to believe. It's got your height and the way you lean, the sharpest silhouette I've ever seen. But when I step closer to take your hand, I'm just grasping at the dark in a lonely land. And now it's only the shadow of the man I love, a ghost made of light in the sky above. It follows me home and it sits by my side, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. It doesn't speak and it doesn't care, it's just the outline of a life that isn't there. Yeah, I'm living with a memory I can't even hold, in a world that's growing dark and cold. Only the shadow of what we used to be. Try to walk through it just to feel a chill, but it's just empty space and a bitter pill. The lamp on the nightstand casts a jagged line, and for a split second I pretend you're mine. I'm talking to the carpet, I'm pleading with the paint, but the image of us is getting weary and faint. The sun goes down and the shape disappears, leaving me alone with the weight of the years. I'm chasing the darkness into the corners, a private parade of one-man mourners. I'd rather have the blackness than the empty white, I'd rather have the ghost than the morning light. Don't turn on the overhead, don't break the spell. I'm perfectly happy in this shaded hell. And now it's only the shadow of the man I love, a ghost made of light in the sky above. It follows me home and it sits by my side, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. It doesn't speak and it doesn't care, it's just the outline of a life that isn't there. Yeah, I'm living with a memory I can't even hold, in a world that's growing dark and cold. Only the shadow. A silver version of the mess we made. I'm dancing with the dark on the bedroom floor, just a need the light anymore, only the shadow. Only the shadow. I'm swallowing the sentences like stones, letting them settle deep inside my bones. I watched you pack your life into a box while I was busy double-checking locks. I had a speech prepared behind my teeth about the girl I used to be underneath, but I just stood there staring at the floor as you carried us out through the front door. The stay is still stuck in the back of my throat. The sorry is hidden in the pocket of my coat. I'm a library of things that went unread, 1,000 conversations living in my head. And oh, the weight of the words I kept, the promises I made while you finally slept, the I love yous that I held until they turned to blue. Say while I watched you walk away. I write them down on napkins in the dark, then I burn the paper just to see a spark. I'm terrified of being on my own. I'm sorry for the ways that I've grown. If I had said them when the air was still, would you be sitting on this windowsill? Or is the silence just a kind of way to bleed, giving you the exit that you think you need? They're screaming in my chest, they're banging on the door. They don't wanna be a secret anymore, but the phone is just a piece of glass and cold, and some stories are better left untold. Better left untold. I'm keeping them, I'm folding them up like a bitter drag at the bottom of a cup. The please, the wait, it's not too late. Just words I kept just for me, just for me. Silence. I'm staring at the GPS on the dash, but I can't bring myself to touch the glass. The shortest route would take me past your street, past the coffee shop where we used to meet. I know the turnoff I know the shortcut well, but every landmark is a story I can't tell. So I'm heading north when I should be going west, trying to give this aching heart a rest. Fuel lights blinking like a warning sign, crossing over every painted yellow line. I'm burning through the rubber and the gas, just to let a little more distance pass. I'm taking the long way home tonight, avoiding every memory in the rearview light. I'm driving through towns I don't even know, just to find a place where you don't grow. It's 60 miles extra for a minute of peace, praying for the engine and the ghost to cease. I'm not lost, I'm just trying to stay straight, taking the long way. The radio's playing that song you hate, and for a second I'm tempted to wait, to pull over at the diner with the neon sign, where we sat in the booth back in '09. But I keep my foot heavy on the floor, closing every window, locking every door. If I don't see the house where we lived our best, maybe I can finally get some sleep in my chest. The map is a minefield of remember when, and I don't think I can go back there again. I'd rather drive until the road runs out, until I forget what we were all about. Circle the city, follow the shore, anything, and I walk through my own front door. Midnight oil burns just a little further, just a little more away from you. A long way, long way. I'm almost there, but not quite. I saw the smoke from a mile away, a charcoal smudge on a perfect day. I knew the heat would be too much to bear. I saw the warnings hanging in the air, but your heart is a heart that I can't quit, even if I'm the one who ends up lit. I'm crossing the line where the grass turns black, with no intention of ever turning back. My lungs are heavy and my vision is blurred, but stop is a word I've never heard. I'd rather burn up The walls are thin. I'm letting the blaze begin. Into the fire